Good evening, Twitch chat. Good evening, all, and good evening, ETF2L 6v6 Autumn 2023. It is Team Fortress TV. It's your correspondent TurboTab speaking, and we've also got your friendly neighborhood Ben PL in the co-cast. How are we doing, Ben?
Doing very good, yeah. It's exciting to be back for a new season. A bit of a, we've got obviously new maps, new teams, and the lack of wins. It's gonna make it a bit of a different flavour of the season. But from the games we've seen so far, it's been pretty exciting. We've got to say.
And also, wait a minute, I've just checked my papers. My darling, my wonderful Samus is here. So Samus is going to be doing all the production tonight. Power couple. All right. So, Ben, we have a game of Havoc versus Last Resort. It's week 1 game. So I know, slow down. I know it's kind of getting a bit crazy. Week 1 game and week 2, crazy in the world of ETF2L. But I think the ETF2L admins are just really happy that they play the game at all. And because they've got to delay all those sort of little tidbits in games, they have got the full rosters waiting for both of these teams. The 2 brand spanking new teams here, Ben. And do you have any sort of kind of opinions just looking at the rosters out of the gate?
Well, I've got to say, we'll start with Havoc, and I know this is a team a lot of people are very excited about. It's obviously AMS is back, and it's sort of the project that is put together. And I remember in the cast last night, Sony even said this was his pick to win the season. So it's a team that there's a lot of hype around. Obviously, Max there, and there's a return of Warp from Wheelchair. There's a lot of players to be excited about on this team, and and I guess with the new project roster, it's not a team that people have seen very much. So you can have all these exciting visions of what they're capable of doing before the season. It's kind of the most exciting time to come up with those kind of opinions.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Just to kind of fill everybody in, if you've not been living under a rock and you're not as amped for AMS coming back, it is Havoc, which is Eon on Medic. Mac is playing that level with Everman as always. Bloke, or Left, will be playing Soldier alongside his buddy Warped. AMS and Sneaky will be the scout pair, respectively. Who's pocket, who's roaming, who's flanking? I'll leave those teams to the side, and we'll leave the logs, and we'll kind of sift through the ashes. Anyway, over on the other side, their opponents, the Last Resort, we will have June on Medic, Zams on Demoman, Ryan and Matez on Soldier, and Flick and Pandemic are on Scouts. You could probably take a lot more of a solid guess who's pocket Scout and all that jazz, but I'm not taking any chances here, Ben.
Yeah, it's funny you mention Scouts though, right? Because this is a funny game for the Scouts, because I guess the Swift, who later became Hubert's Angels last season, their Scout pair was Sneaky and Pandemic, so they'll be going head to head this season. So old teammates going to be rivals this game.
You think that happens much, Ben? Do you think these teams ever whisper in the ears of their teammates saying, look, you got to do this against Pandemic. He hates it, man. He hates it when you do this on mid. He hates it when you do this.
I'd be shocked if they didn't. I'd be shocked if they didn't. Absolutely, yeah. Because if you know a player inside out, you play with them for a whole season, or sometimes even longer than that, and you go against them, you know all their traits. You know, on this type of mid fight, they like to do this, or this is how they like to play, or this is a way you can counter what they're doing. It's a pretty useful thing to know, right?
Yeah, good point. All right. So obviously, as you know, in any sort of modern Premiership season, they've got picks and bans now in the week. If you're just tuning in and you've been under that 2009 rock, we pick and ban the maps. There's no mandatory maps, which is can be good because you've got complete control of which maps you're actually good at in this little small pool each week. The bad thing is there's a good chance we're not going to see any of the new maps that everybody's been fighting about on the forums and in the ETF2L Discord. So, I mean, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Where do you stand, Ben PL?
I've got to say, so obviously Sultry is in this week in the pool, and it's been banned out again. So there's no Sultry this week. We're on to Snake and Sunshine, and I got to say, for week 1, it's kind of understandable, right? It's a new map. These teams won't have scrimmaged it very much, and you can kind of see people just will want to go with what they're comfortable with. But I don't know. I'd like to see later in the season teams be more open to kind of trying things out. Or maybe more of a controversial take. But I'm quite excited at the prospect of maybe later on having a team decide, you know what, we're gonna try hard on this map. We're gonna come up with some strats, and we're gonna really try and theorycraft and get good on something, so we can open up our bans and we don't have to waste a ban on that, and we can float it and such.
Okay, very good. Very diplomatic response. Anyway, the maps you're probably wondering, Twitch chat, are going to be Snakewater. I think this was picked by Havoc, and Sunshine will be our second map, will be picked by Last Resort, and that was Sunshine, of course. I've looked at both of these teams. They look really strong on the maps that they pick, and a bit of a question mark on the maps they obviously have not picked tonight. So, do you think this is going to lead into that sort of implied draw tonight, Ben, or do you think one team is just holding a candle above the other?
I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Especially with the sort of unknown quantity that is Havoc. Like, it's with a completely new roster. Like, it's hard to say like where they're going to stand in relation to everyone else. Obviously, they've got good names on them and such. But yeah, no, I think there's definitely a case to be made that this is like two teams who are sort of strong on their own pick, and it makes it more likely to tie. But then there is always the possibility that one team can team ahead if they're a cut above.
All right, I think we are going to be getting started soon, but give me something I can actually put my name down onto a betting slip here, Ben. What scoreline are we predicting going into this Snakewater map?
I think it's going to be sort of a fairly maybe low scorer, but I think Havoc have got it out on top. Maybe 2 or 3-1. I'll go 3-1. I'll say to Havoc. So get your if anyone wants to follow my bets, get those in the
travel
bets.
back, get on saloon.tf,
Yeah.
bet all that scrap, immediately invest into Bitcoin, and then come back in time. There we go. But I mean, I bet you didn't predict this though. We've got a pause. The game hasn't even started yet, Ben. And high octane action. We need to slam that pause
first
button.
rollout. Has someone set the wrong config up or something? Like
it's time for a team huddle. I don't know. It could be a lot of things. Somebody could still be unchecked from the bathroom. You know, you're rolling out, your medic is healing everybody, and you see your demo man sat there looking at a bin.
Yeah, there's all sorts of things it can be. But I was scared. I thought my game had frozen. I was like, oh dear. But no, we're in a bit of a pause. We're delaying ever so slightly. Well, yeah, we can just presume it was at some point during the first rollout or perhaps.
Yeah. I hope it's not the boys fiending in the old Twitch TV, just having a quick look what chat has to think about their teams before they roll out. See if it gives them energy.
Yeah, I'll spin the question back on you then. So what are your predictions like for this first map? What are you thinking?
Oh, the host gets a prediction. I never get to do this. All right, well, just smushing my hands together. I think I'll join you in having Conquer. I think Snakewater is going to be a fighter, though. So I think it will be like a 2-2 Golden Cap. And I think Golden Cap will go to Havoc. This is optimistic. I'm expecting a close one. You know, I'm giving everybody respects here. So surely nobody, all these players can like start pointing at the finger of me. It's like, you don't like us. Like, I like you all equal.
Yeah, it's possible, isn't it? And again with the map like Snakewater, if it gets to those sort of slow situations. Yeah, we saw Golden Cap yesterday as well on Snake with a bit of a chaotic end. I think it was 3.5 stars capped with like single-digit seconds left on the clock.
Spoilers, Ben! I've not tuned into YouTube yet. I'm still waiting for the VOD upload, and you've just completely spoiled my story. What am I going to watch with my breakfast now?
You still got Golden Cap. I won't tell you who wins Golden Cap, but yeah,
touche.
But
looks like we've got a bit more time to afford. We can bully more players then. If the teams are very hell bent on us picking on somebody, is there anybody in this server tonight you've got a bit of a question mark on? Someone that maybe doesn't belong, Ben. I want you to make enemies tonight. Come on.
I don't want to say they don't belong, but I know that obviously when I'm sort of looking at Eon is a name that I wasn't particularly aware of. I know they've not played in a while, but clearly been picked up, and AMS sees something in them. So what a way to prove yourself. I believe they haven't played an official in at least a few years, at least an ETF2L that is. So yeah, maybe I'm not going to say I hate it. I'm going to say there's an unproven quantity, and it's sort of what a stage to come up to and prove yourself.
Yeah, it's always nice to see new talent. A new medic blood being pumped into the scene. I think it might be the least populated class, I think, at the moment, with people kind of leaving and departing. So let's see if this gives a nice little head start to AMS as a sort of team, just picking out these fresh bloods, these hungry players. Now we're officially starting. Now we're probably coming to the time where the pause happened, and now this is your game of ETF2L 6v6 Autumn 2023. It's week 1 and week 2, Havoc versus Last Resort, first map Snakewater. What's happening then?
Yeah, both C's just Poking and prodding start with Max slightly faster on the rollout, but nothing too big. We'll see what the soldiers decide to do, and it seems like Matthes going in for a big bomb. Ryan in as well, landing straight onto Eon, so that new medic getting taken down instantly in this first mid-fight. Mac going down as well, and this double bomb has gone so huge, but June taken down on the other side, leaves it in a 3v3. As High Ground currently in control of the blue side of Havoc, and Matt is going to have to go all the way behind, run away, and yeah, despite losing Demo and Med instantly, Havoc fight back and win this mid-fight.
Okay, well, see you later, Warped, as he does collide into Mattez there in the suicide. Yeah, I think that was just an El Clasico of soldiers trading on each side. Well, maybe there was a bit more pushover coming from Havoc, but I think in a mid-fight like that, you can kind of hedge your bets on the team who has scouts left. They had 2 on Havoc, there was only 1 kicking on TLR, and of course they win mid. Scouts are good on that last chambering end of mid-fights.
Yeah, particularly Scout stood on top of the point on that little log as well. See everything, impossible to displace, and yeah, great work by Sneaky. But both beds go down, so it leaves us in an even Uber scenario. We'll see one of these famous Snakewater stalemates, see how Havoc decide they're going to try and break this one.
Well, there's no chaos. I think you can go to say both of these teams respect each other. There's no just kind of like, let's just have a crack at it, you know, those sort of dry pushes that you think you're so confident you can just pull off. They actually want to give a bit of waiting time to see if somebody throws somebody in, but because they're not doing that, respect given to both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's various ways that you can do this. We can see, I guess you can always try like the soldier stacks. I'm sure that's what they're going to try. But then after that, is like delivering banners or delivering snipers. It's a bit early to sort of start postulating out the possibility of that. But Warp's going to get into cheese, going to try and never mind. Taken down by Riot instantly, all spotted out.
They slightly pushed Ryan out of cheese, but he didn't die, so I don't know why they thought so optimistically that Warp could get in there, turn around, and try and take pot shots at the scout. I thought he would just go for a bomb, you know, jump a main Warped, but I mean, there's still plenty of time.
See, as Warp doesn't seem to have anything funny. But when the respawns, maybe he's going to be going for some more soldier pressure, and yeah, no counter sack attempt.
It's always a good time to go for an off-class, believe it or not. Because you haven't got that respawn supply, you don't switch off to spy, have a quick little clash check. You don't afford that luxury, so a good time for an off-class, but I guess they don't want to go for it. They just want to go with Cookie Cutter, allow that easy sort of conversion. But speaking of converting...
Yeah, Warp gets taken down once again. Maybe this is the time we see something mixing up, because we've had half of the time. There's 5 minutes on the clock for each point, and we've used 2.5 of them to get to this point. And yeah, still no counter-sack attempt from TLR. They're just content to sit. They don't want to go off one pick. They don't want to perhaps risk too much. Just very confident to just sit it out on this second point with even Ubers. As it seems like Havoc now rotating into grass. Never mind. Am's taken down to the trap. Sneaky little one there, sat underneath the hut.
I guarantee you there was a comm coming out like, AMS, check the sticks. I mean, he did. He did. So good job, AMS.
It's always the worst, isn't it? You run through a scout to clear the sticks and you just get deated on.
Bomb defused. Alright, well, so back to, you know, kind of chilling. AMS still going with the Cookie Cutter. I mean, I can understand there's no wrong answers between converting mid and second. An off class is like, it's a bit more sneaky, obviously, they can't really read for it, but at the same time it's hard to kind of keep that momentum going if they pull it off, so Cookie Cutter is just fine. Let's see what they have cooked up though, because it looks like they're faffing about still on this right hand side.
Yeah, they got one pick though. That's a nice little sneaky bomb kill into Ryan. It's going to open up a bit of space, so we'll see if anyone decides to go for this. Just need a bit of healing up onto Mark as Leth and Warped maybe wanting to go for something with one soldier down. I'm just content to just sit and spam. They're actually getting spammed out quite badly as well. Matt is doing a lot of damage with the splash rockets, so Beam's going to have to get rotated around onto the grass.
Yeah, they've managed to take grass somewhat effectively. They're just not pushing past the flank bit that they want to. They actually... Yeah, they trade in the Uber now, and it's just scratching up against each other. Both Ubers just trying to find any sort of picks remaining, and finally the soldiers will collapse in now. This is where the dual damage will happen, and we've already no sort of real frags. Yeah, the damage was not good from TLR, and there was nothing really for the scouts to kind of catch up with. I think there was also the scout dying to some stray spam and all that, and that's got to hurt for TLR. They really held and showed a lot of respect during all of that, just for it to kind of blow up in their face. The inactivity, well, I wouldn't say killed them. It was actually the little bit of activity at the end that killed them, and it was just missed rockets.
Yeah, you've got to wonder, does that give Havoc a bit more confidence? So later, I know you were saying before there was a lot of respect with the sort of slowing it down, not going to go for anything too like gung ho, to sort of taking trades and such. Maybe that big win early on in the game in that first stalemate is going to perhaps give Havoc more meaning. So next time, maybe more contenders go in, take those trades, and try and just fight in the post.
Yeah, 100%. Ryan jumping in quick and fast, and Mattez is even going to back in or back. Does find a nice sort of damage to Dime, however, and Zams moves across the point with the attention of backing up his soldier boys, but
June.
Yeah, still running away. Managed to just deal with that stray soldier on the chase, but they haven't healed anybody with June during all that. The scout chariot is trying to hunt down June. He took the long way round to avoid any sort of contention from these scouts. Smart play, and will kind of survive and keep this uber charged dream alive for TLR.
That was fantastic movement from June there on the mid, surviving that double soldier and surfs the way up onto the rafters, onto catwalk, and then runs around, arrows the soldier on grass that was trying to get the kill, and then manages to just sneak out from underneath, get some help from the soldier later on. Was scary times for June, but the dust settle is going to be even Ubers again, so it could have ended a lot worse after that mid. There was a world where this is sort of full Uber ad last push, but they stabilised, get themselves onto second, and TLR now back where we were just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, showing the brain power and game sense as well as like execution. These are the sorts of plays that happen and come from a medic. That humbled me a bit, because I'm the kind of guy that goes like, no, the medic, easy div to high, easy road to high divs, all that jazz. But seeing performances like that, I know I can pull it off.
Yeah, it's always nice when you see if you're in a team, you know you've got a medic pulling off things like that. It gives you a bit more confidence.
Free get out of jail free card.
Yeah, absolutely. Allows for a couple of slip ups.
They like the spam game, don't they? All Havoc.
Yeah, they've done it before, peeking through swords, trying to catch people, but no, this time they are sitting strong. Not gonna fall for any of those sticky kills or splash rocket kills like they did previously.
Yeah, it's usually quite hard to spam around this area. Obviously, you need to deny the person out of cheese, and once you've done that step, if you've killed them or not, is how much window frame you've got to like do some spam bomb. Obviously, window and that sort of side sawmill alley. I would say like a lot of people would just kind of jump people in, but I guess this is more of a game of statistics. I guess you get to roll more dices eventually. Like it's very do or don't with a jump in. Whilst if you keep spamming, eventually if you keep trying, it's going to culminate to something small.
Yeah, and you're risking less as well, right? I guess if you're sort of jumping in and sort of sacking players, there is always the option of counter attacks maybe coming the other way and perhaps catching you out. But it looks like Beam's getting rotated around to grass again. I'm thinking in my head there's a possibility of after one pick there could be an Uber exchange on grass like what was previously so successful, but currently the combo of Havoc just making their mind up, running it back and forth, zigzagging, trying to bait these defending players around, and actually it's Ams who's the one taking down. And Warp goes down as well, getting caught just outside of Saw to the scout of Pandemic, so that's 2 picks. That's the previous one, and that is enough for TLR to start pulling the trigger. Asking to push themselves across this midpoint, taking all the high ground, and it looks like a trade. Going to be occurring on the point, but better Uber for June, so
yeah,
pretty good.
Everybody else from TLR is dealing with all the stragglers and pushing them out, but they have got the respawn on their side, so if they keep going for like sort of little tradey interactions on Havoc, in theory they should win this out, but without a medic now, it's going to make things really hard. The longer the fight gets drawn out, the more that heals are felt for TLR, and yeah, they try to go for June now in the sort of last losing moments, but it doesn't yield the medic pick.
Are they going to deny this demo man forward spawn? It just about appears so. So Mac and Eon both getting taken down in that fight is a big turnaround. So not the hugest of Uber advantages, but definitely something that you can see having some impact onto last if they're able to get the Uber charge there in one piece and get themselves organised and use it quick and coherently.
There's a trap on the lamp, the overlevelable lamp. I have seen 3 players drop to this trap before, so... And I see June heading on over, and he gets him, calls it. I've got to buy some lottery tickets because I can just see the future here. Then
what's the opposite of Caster's curse? Caster's blessing.
Yeah,
I guess that's what. Yeah, that's the.
Come to confession. Come to confession, my sons, and I will cure thee of all stickies and traps in the world. All right, so Ben, I mean, with a trap like that, you'd think, okay, we've got an Uber advantage now. We've got a chance to push out, but do they even do that? I think they might just chill with an Uber charge and just be frank in the fact that they've wasted some time here.
Well, Leth just posted in chat, time to get cozy, so I'm not thinking they've got too many intentions of pushing out currently. They're currently just, happy to sit it out. I guess even with full ad, it's a hard last to push out of. There's lots of doorways, lobbies, quite unforgiving, and you're going to have to use the Uber charge, and then there's going to be a diss. It's very risky, and I guess if you're a round up, it's not a risk that Havoc are willing to take. They're just happy to just chill out, wait for even Ubers, and they're content enough with the probability that they're going to just hold this anyway.
They're spamming Port Ams out, so they're aware of this sniper threat on last. Sentry guns in the fun spot, covering all sorts of main doorways, apart from that shorter door. But Warp's on the case.
Double sack straight in onto Eon, who's dancing away, taking one rocket of damage. Going to take a bit more spam as well, but not going to go down. Able to escape. I guess a couple of missed rockets plus dispenser armor really helped out Eon there. Able to surf away and live another day, but looked scary for a second or so.
Yeah, on paper it looked like a 2-soldier bomb, but I think it was just one soldier bomb realistically, because one sentry gun was just dealing with that soldier, kind of pinning him to the skybox, and everybody else was just peppering at him as well. So just one set of rockets to dodge, not too hard.
Yeah, there's no such thing really as a double sack, I guess, because there's always going to be one when there's the gun up. It's not able to get spammed.
It's possible. You just have to kind of study and go at a certain time and kind of manipulate the tracking of that sentry gun. It always does try to lead to that same, the closest player. So if you find these certain lines in a way and they go at a certain timing, it kind of confuses the sentry gun. Or you can sometimes even ride out the sentry gun if you take it pie in the sky high enough. You just need to avoid the skybox a little bit.
Yeah, well, the second sack attempt wasn't as dangerous, and both soldiers taken down. Maths and Ryan in the respawn queue coming back up. I'm just checking for those other classes, seeing what's coming, and we'll be seeing that Pandemic has opted to take the opportunity to swap out onto Sniper. There's 1 minute 55 left before round reset, so a bit of time to go for some heat, go for some sort of play, and we'll I guess it's all eyes on Pandemic, see if this is the key. Last point.
This is some calm gameplay from these two teams. I thought it would be a lot more chaotic from looking at these names in the squad, but I guess they really want the win. They know that this is an important game, I think, for them both, because they seem kind of on the same power curve as each other. Very much that sort of playoff rivals suspected. I mean, it's so calm. I wonder if we should kind of do this cast TikTok style, just get some Subway Surfers at the bottom of the screen to keep my attention span going.
Yeah, I guess there's only 1 more minute that this stalemate can last anyway, because the round reset will kick in. Pandemic and Ams had a moment where they stared at each other. Yeah, buffed up snipers. Even if you hit the full charge body shot, it's not enough. Pandemic rotating all the possible angles, but they're all just stuffed so well. It's such a hard nut to crack. Is this Snake Water last point? Even on Sniper, not the most forgiving.
It does kind of punish the morale a little bit of TLR, because in a way you're kind of testing your sort of playbook of what to deal with at last, and it's probably reasonably safe to assume they're going to be fighting them at last again. And if you can't have a plan for just dealing with just this sort of last hold, what are you going to do about these future rounds incoming?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I guess it also makes that kill onto June that you prophesized earlier even more important, right? Because that would have been a push with 30 to 40 ad on TLR's side when they're pushing it. That could have easily been around, and now they're stuck in this long stalemate, and they're stuck losing Zams and Flick through the sticky bombs of Mac. So push is over. Doesn't look like there's going to be any attempt at a push out, and just round reset. So half the game still to play, and we've still sat at a 1-0 scoreline.
Yeah, Timer is very much a saviour for the EU. I mean, in an alternate universe, in a banny sort of playbook or kind of rule set, we could have been on that last forever and ever, Ben.
Yeah, well, it used to be 10 minutes, right? So could have been twice as long. But yeah, TLR didn't stir too much hope. Their ability to break that stalemate, but they're back within the mid-fight. They've not come off better on these last two, but they had decent showings. See if these soldiers are able to get the same success as previous, and it looks like Sneaky and Left taken down instantly, and Morpheus coming across the point. This has been the best showing so far from TLR in a mid-fight, and it looks like the three remaining players, AMS, Eon and Warped, all the way back out, going to concede second as well. Very nice, getting 3 frags and straight back in. Are we going to be back to where we were a minute ago?
Oh, potentially. It depends if they give them much room to set up going into this last point. They were already sending stickies and whatnot at last. They've killed the sentry gun early off, and Ryan wants to shut down AMS. He actually gets the kill onto him, but that is a trade, need I remind you. They're still lacking 1 scout because he's capping at second right now.
Yeah, it's still very awkward. There's the team sort of works their way in through this big door side, trying to spam away, but there's a soldier in the spawn shot. There's a heavy to deal with. There's a demo on top of the point, and yeah, Mathis jumps and gets caught out. So yeah, we're gonna be back into the stalemate once again. TLR have got another 5 minutes. They failed to break it in the previous 5 minutes, but they're gonna have another go. See if they've learned from their mistakes. See if they've got any new ideas after that previous mid-fight.
All right. Now this is the part, Ben, where we crack the secret sauce, how we break down a last push for TLR. So when they go back to the VOD and they fiend on all the nice comments we have to say about them, they'll have the answer staring at them in the face. And is the answer Ryan jump? No, it isn't, because he will go down.
Yeah, not quite. It was the bomb was about to land on towards Eon, and just the sentry gun just blast him straight back up into the sky again. It was kind of comedic to watch, to be honest. Like the bouncing soldier just going in and out of sentry gun range. But yeah, I presume that's it's not. I was thinking there's like a banner or something coming up, but that's like a possible play you can do, right? For
we've got Ryan
to say what are we? So yeah, there's Ryan's come up. I don't. Oh, Ryan's up on spy actually.
It's
okay,
a spy.
This is another way in.
Yeah, it's a spy. He must be fresh off the pubs because he disguised as a pirate at first, and he realizes where he was, and now he realizes he's back in the spawn because I guess Left could just smell him, just hiding on the tires there.
Yeah, maybe there's a decloak or something here, but yeah, it's a common spam spot. Yep. Not exactly ideal, but yeah, not too much time wasted, nothing too much risked either. But
spy is hard to pull off, I think, in these sorts of situations. I mean, you think it's probably the better way just because you deal with that initial sort of push back to the back line sort of thing, but you know, when you're sat here and you're doing nothing, Ben, the only thing you're listening for is probably spies. The only thing you're watching for is probably spies. If anything, you're begging for a spy just to break up the monotony of nothing.
Yeah, well, I guess you're probably more likely to see success if the spy is going to go for maybe a demo pick, or maybe go and try and sap the gun and then send a soldier in sync with that, just to try and stir things up. But yeah, not even able to get in through lower on this previous attempt.
The game plods long. We're at last. There's 10 minutes left. I'm slowly slipping into my cricket and snooker voice here because it's that calm gameplay. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Oh crap! It's already happening.
Yeah. Well, again, there's no more spy on this respawn. Just back to Cookie Cutter Classes. See if there's going to be any more attempt at a sack. But yeah, there's more things to try. We saw a bit of a sniper before. Oh, nice shot there into Mathis. I guess he's going to shut down. AMS has been a bit of a demon on sniper in this last couple of minutes.
All right. AMS, I'm sending you a license to go and kill. You've got to pick. In theory, if you die, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah,
so
have a peek into lobby. Like, start like.
Oh, we're just having a quick class check. You know, one man goes down. That could mean a whole new man comes out of the respawn. So he's going to have a little check. But whatever happened to the hero shots? Whatever happened to snipers feeling themselves a little bit, and they start to go a bit more, crazy in that lobby area? But no, not AMS. Back onto the door checker.
Yeah, absolutely. And back to around the final minute. And this time they're going to go for a trade with a bit more time left. Going to get the gun, but Eon's still not had to use. Eon's got such a better Uber charge. He's going to have about 5 extra seconds on it, but he's going to die at the end of the... June's going to die at the end of the trade, excuse me. And yeah, everyone else being taken down. Also, Zamaz and Flick falling, and nobody else on this blue side. On the blue side going to be taken down. And yeah, sure, this means...
3 were down, but 3 is not enough. It's not enough to sweeten the pot of second point capture for old Havoc here. Somewhere, Cadus has got a single happy tear falling out of his eye. So proud of his boy Ams.
Yeah, but it's not just second, it's second with the prospect of having 50 yards when you want to go and push mid afterwards. But yeah, still not enough to... the honey pot isn't quite sweet enough to tempt the Havoc side in. And so yeah, we're going to be seeing a bit of sacking. 20 seconds on the clock. Uber nearly up for Eon. June is long away. And yeah, Pandemic being taken down by the sniper isn't going to help things either. Ams again, completely locking it down, and there's going to be another round reset.
So big pin coming out from Havoc, just completely immobilizing TLR on what to do. And I think there's sort of fake hope with these round resets because it allows obviously both teams to get back into the game and get some sort of momentum kicking over and over again. And they did win the last mid for TLR, so you know, maybe they're still happy about this situation.
Yeah, I guess if it, in my opinion, if I was on a Havoc, I'd be thinking whatever we want to do, we just don't want Eon to die on these mid fights. Because even if you get out, as we saw last time, only 3 players survived the mid fight, but they got back and they managed to get themselves set up. They survived now for 10 whole minutes on last without even getting forced or without really losing any picks at all. So if it's going to be a mid win that's going to stir them over the line, they're going to have a bit of a bigger win than last time, which is already still a pretty good one. We've got a couple of low bombs coming across, a couple of fakes over the TLR side. Not fully committing yet, but starting to take a bit of control, starting to push it a bit harder, and yeah.
Okay, that was, yeah, the Havoc just kind of really kind of folded their cards immediately there. The shuffle of the first 3 did not even come out. They just like backed out, realized that they couldn't follow up damage that they laid out starting off, and just take the 5 seconds. So could go wrong here as they get a nice sort of bomb drop onto Eon. So June now needs to just keep themselves alive, and yeah, I think this is the sort of momentum they're hoping for. AMS though, the hero, looking to sneak behind, but they're aware, and God, never have I seen a hero shut down.
That's such an important frag. Getting in onto the medic, we've seen the troubles that it's caused when the even Ubers in the last. What about full ads going in, getting that bomb through Mathers straight onto the medic? Nice little, I guess it's probably technically an air shot, but it was a couple of meters off the ground.
Oh no, it was an air shot. It was an air shot.
Counts. Yeah, it counts. It was like, yeah, it was popped up very nicely. But it's working their way into lobby. See how they're going to use this full ad.
So Sticky's on point, Sentry Gun taken down, and now they're already pressuring the point a little bit. They bring Bloke out of his little hidey hole, but he's actually doing a good job dodging a majority of the damage from TLR, and now because of all that time has passed, the heavy just goes to work. The rat-a-tat-tat has definitely tatted into them, and they are out. I just don't know what the game plan there was from TLR. Usually you focus left-hand side, right-hand side, any sort of player, but nobody wants to attack anything, it seems. They didn't play point.
Yeah, it was a bit disjointed, right? They had like a couple of players standing on point, like whilst Uber trying to clear the stakes, but then there wasn't enough coordination. They didn't focus fire onto, yeah, as you say, really much at all other than the gun. And it's going to be such a morale killer, right? If you're on TLR side, because now you're thinking, okay, so even if we say go for a soldier sack and a soldier goes in and drops the medic, then we're still not proving we can do the full ad pushes afterwards. So it's a real gut punch.
Got the level 2 gun up going into this push. I don't think they're going to keep dot pushing it. Doesn't really seem on the cards. They might humour a double soldier bomb or some kind of spam. It looks like a bomb.
Soldiers in.
Eon does get out though. Nice little skip. And actually does force out the Uber. But they did throw a lot of savoury treats at them this time, and they were actually pushing out without Uber charge compared to last time. I guess it's much easier now that they have the sort of named souls on the board who they, you know, before it was kind of a little bit disjointed. A couple of people might have gone down, or there's a bit more less time in the world.
June's gone down.
Oh, wow.
Ams with a big shot through cheese. Hits that 150 damage body shot straight into Saw. And yeah, as I was saying, the force now amounts to absolutely nothing. As June's gone down, no Uber charge for TLR, and it's going to be a pretty sizable ad over on Havoc's side. Yeah, peeking that sniper all the way in, just about able to catch out TLR as they're wanting to come back in. And again, another gut punch. It must feel so rough.
Yeah, I'm going to give a bit of mercy to TLR for that, because not many times people will push out a sniper during all that chaos. If you get people down to that degree, you usually switch off the sniper immediately, go to scout, start converting things. But Ams, he just, I guess, was peeking into a crystal ball, had good things on his mind. Oh, Ams, though, he didn't see that
maybe not this time, though. The crystal ball powers have worn off momentarily. Yeah,
damn it, that's all it takes. Ams goes out, back out team. There's no hope. There's no possibility. We have got Uber charge. I don't care. Get out. They hold this round in high regard, it seems, that they're lording over TLR.
Yeah, and big bombs coming in from Ryan. Going to land on the low ground next to Eon. Not able to get anything. Sack the second soldier in as well. Mathes not able to get anything either. Not too much damage dealt to the Havoc side. In any case, so yeah, gonna have to retreat out 4v6, and Havoc, are they gonna decide to push in? Yeah, looks like they're gonna start working their way in through lower. Looks like Am's gonna be getting dropped in the Uber. Okay, much better Uber charge coming out with Pandemic and June, but Warp's gonna get flashed. Only one kill going down, so the push that kills the push, but yeah, it's still maybe not gonna open the door for a repush.
Yeah, there's defense on the second point, however, but they're trying to go in quick enough that they've got no time to really set up and get calibrated. Mac does take out Flick, and that is a lot of collapsing onto grass, much better than we've seen TLR's equivalent in a couple of minutes ago. I say that, and Matez does kind of give a little slap to Eon, so the wind out of the sails, but it can still hold water.
Yeah, well, the problem is that June is the only one to survive. There's no one to build with, and there's only a couple of these players getting forward spawns. Pandemic, Mathes and Ryan going to be having to do the long walk back from last, so going to be 50-ish ad for June, workable, but with 2 minutes 20 on the clock, it has to be not quite perfect, but it has to be very strong from TLR if they're able to get all the way to the other side and get this round one out.
I say you should be posturing really already if you're on the side of TLR, but I guess they just don't want to risk things. They just need one round, and 2 minutes is enough time to make that happen. So they have their Uber charge advantage. It's very much do or die at this point. A lot of spam coming in, but not popping the Uber straight away, it seems, to TLR.
Yeah, going to get a 1 second out from Warp, going to be taken down, and yeah, the rest of the side of Havoc.
They got to keep going.
Yeah, running all the way back, and yeah, they've got to get chased down as well. Eon, 90%, going to be getting Uber before the end of this fight. They've got to be careful. They don't take too long as bombs come in, really trying to get this force out onto Eon. Mac taken down by the bombs, though.
They definitely have to keep
nice
going
pick.
now. That's
they still have to keep going, yeah. Pick on the
they should keep going to last, in my opinion. But yeah, they're finally going in now, ushering in. Somebody made the call, and they have to keep going. While Smack is down, these doorways are a bit more free. Heavy weapons guy is up, so they need to be careful in their sort of choice of frags here. There is a couple that have shown their faces, mainly from the soldier side. They're playing point now, and they pop off Uber, and there you go. There's some of the frags that they needed to kind of grate up this monotony. Even Zams is coming from a different angle. Will get cut off from the rest of his team, but the collapse should come in now. They should focus as much as the point as they can. These soldiers doing so much work for TLR, and there we go. They pulled it off. One round is on the board, and it's got to look kind of mighty fine for TLR in their sort of waiting game. They've actually got their fruit.
Yeah, it feels good, right, with them. You know, they've spent so long grinding away at this last point and really trying to push their way in. But yeah, they managed to sort of, they need the momentum, right? They need the momentum of their own second to mid to enemy second and straight through onto last. They kept the ball rolling, didn't give themselves time to think and perhaps overthink, and yeah, burst their way in. And yeah, great point presence, using their Ubers effectively, and yeah, going to get themselves to a golden cap on Snakewater. So up to 15 more minutes of playtime. Going to be following up. We've got a bit of a garbage time mid-fight for everyone to pad their logs. Never a fun time to be medicing these, where everyone wants to sack themselves into you and get that kill. Yep, TLR are going to wipe, but stalemate occurs, and 1-1, so golden cap, and they're all getting themselves 1 point apiece as well. This first map.
I know people are probably scratching their heads and wondering, like, okay, so how come TLR could do it then, but they couldn't do it earlier? Sometimes you just need a good smack up the arse, Ben. You know, kind of put some gusto in your
We had the
in your
time as well,
gameplay.
like-
You know, exactly. That's what the timer has, kind of inherently does to a player. You realize there's only this much time possible to do the thing, so you actually have confidence to do the thing. And it did help that the snowball was actually building and picking up pace. Mac going down second was a very hearty blow for them. But there was opportunity to mess up there when they lost Zams to the right-hand side. So, but credit to TLR for finding the correct choices in that light sort of point play last push, that they were making a lot of shared damage from the rest of Havoc there, just kind of trying defending the point when they have two spam soldiers left. They could have just maybe jumped somebody in, you know, start taking out some damage, or at least attack from a different angle, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one thing I want to point out here. There's I think there's one team that's very happy with the way that this first map's gone, and that's Varmkov, because they've guaranteed they're going to be top of the table as sole leaders for another few days.
Get the screenshot out, boys. It's time to say we're winning Prem.
Yeah,
you've just joined.
Yeah, they've 6-0'd, guaranteed that maximum either of these two teams can get from this off is 5. So yeah, Varmkov going to be sat top of the table for at least another couple of days until the week 2 fixtures start rolling around. But yeah, like you say, it's what a weird game that was. Like, because TLR just spent so long being the ones pressing, being the ones parked up at last and couldn't break through until the very, very end. What do you think that means in terms of Golden Cap? Like, who are you thinking is favourite based on this performance?
I think, well, all I'm thinking right now is, like, can I get away with looking at logs before we go into a Golden Cap? Do I even dare? Do I have the audacity? Because that's how I form all my opinions. It's in the mathematical breakdown. But I don't know. I think into Golden Cap, I did predict that Havoc would take this one away. And I think they are obviously one that have played out and happier with this map compared to what TLR has to offer. So we'll just see if they have a successful gear change going into this. But having a quick glance at the logs, it's some of the most boring logs you'll ever see in your entire life. AMS was having a grand time, though. He's headshotting people. His kills are slowly being gathered up on the board. And Sneaky was having an okay time just because the sentry gun...
12 minutes an engineer.
I mean, yeah, but you get to point the finger. You know, if things go wrong, you're like, hey, man, my sentry gun was there. I did my job, okay? I didn't beef. You guys beefed.
Yeah, the sentry gun can't have beefed. So
yeah. I mean, the only things you can really point at, I think, is to throw the logs away in this small instance and actually look at it from moment to moment. The times where those big impact plays happen hurt the most in these sort of stalematey games. So the time that they didn't spot the trap, the time that Mac did go down on second, but it's got to be put behind them because we're going into the Golden Cap then. Yeah,
absolutely. We'll see what they've got cooking up on this potentially final mid fight, unless there's a golden mid fight, but yeah, we saw TLR get the better of these last couple of mids, but perhaps we possibly, it could be because Havoc were more content to just keep the medic alive and back up if required, but there's no such point advantage now for Havoc, and they're sending in Leth and Warp straight away, huge bombs, and the scouts as well, all the way in. Hero and Ams all the way back. It's a 4-man sack wave on the mid, and Leth still actually alive in enemy saw, fighting basically everyone, but objective is complete, and Havoc do get the Medic of June, get Matt as well, but lose everyone else, and they're happy to just have this advantage.
Yeah, it looks like Havoc decided to double down with their tactic on mid, which was to go aggressive, but all go for kind of a synced up play. Everybody went across the point at the same time. You can never say they weren't coordinated, but when the dust settled and all these jumps and bombs and all that, TLR kind of made the same sort of choice, but they veered ever so slightly and stayed on the sort of mid wooden panels of the point itself, and I think that sort of ground just gave them a bit more access to rain fire on them. But it's fine, we get another do-over.
Yeah, well, Eon's been forced out, so a very nice bomb from Ryan, gets one huge direct, and before the second one is allowed to hit, Eon goes shiny, uses the Uber charge, so we're going to flip-flop the situation back and forth. June now with a very sizable advantage, and I'm sure as soon as Ryan spawns back in, we're going to see an attempt at a repush. Just sort of getting their buffs, getting themselves ready. Plenty of time to work with Eon, still below 50% Uber.
We might be going through kitchen here. They have an eyesight on them, and they know they're pushing from kitchen now, so the spam should be heading their way. Actually, it's a fake out. It's not coming kitchen at all. Aha! 3 grounds, says TLR. You fell for the old kitchen trick.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, little zigzag, very, very intelligent. No spam at all into that lower area where they're able to just push him for free. Now, push themselves up ready outside enemy second. But Eon's got Uber charge now. We're at even Stevens on the Ubers, and Mathers able to get into Cheese, but getting chased out by Sneaky. So 6v6, we saw Havoc sat in one of these stalemates for quite a while earlier in the game. So I don't think we've seen TLR in a mid-second even Ubers situation yet. So we'll see what they've got for us, see how they decide to break into this one.
Yeah, it looks like very grass-centric right now. Makes me wonder if they could probably get in, so to think, oh, kind of going maybe things a little bit early over on Havoc, but they're absorbing quite a lot of people. But can you just call this a good Uber? We're 3 down. Oh, you do lose 2 of your own souls, though, during all that. And yeah, that completely doesn't want to push at all over on the rest of Havoc. They're just going to back out. They backed out so much, expecting this Uber charge to push in. But they're all the way back.
Yeah, really nice play there. They baited in the kill onto Pandemic, and that baited all of Havoc forward, and Mathers was able to jump in behind, get the kill onto Mac, and force the Uber charge, and also live on enemy backs for a little bit of time as well. So I guess it works out. Maybe not intentionally, but
I think Pandemic wasn't even aware of that bait. I think they were like, yeah, guys, we're totally pushing in, and Pandemic's like, guys. But yeah, they threw both of the soldiers in for that plucky little scout, and Uber charge comes in now.
92% on Eon though. This could be a very rough sight to see for TLR on the other side when the shiny heavy appears on the point. Starts firing that minigun, spamming it around, living for quite a while. Just taken down eventually. But it was worth a try, getting the Uber charge in with a little bit of ad. Eon just about gets it in time, but the important thing, June stays alive. And they keep alive most of their team. They don't commit fully into that last point. Manage to get out some bodies. Get themselves set back up for a very familiar situation for anyone who's been here since the start of the map.
Change of plan now. Do you think you've come into this sort of defense with the same sort of smugness, or do you think it really hurts now to do these sorts of turtle strats, realizing this could take this thing to a direction you don't want it to go?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd still be feeling fairly comfortable if I was on the Havoc side, especially if Ams is hitting shots like that. I guess
that was pretty good.
Feel comfortable, right? But yeah, it's been so long, and you've got to remember that TLR haven't actually broken one of these yet. The round they got was off the back of momentum.
Damn, he's just straight into the respawn, straight for checking classes. Doesn't want to go further greed into that sniper class. And I think if you... Oh wait, no, you get an overall sort of server time, so you can get round resets. It's not going to go to a golden mid straight after the gate, it seems.
Yeah, but again, no off class used. As you mentioned, Ams was just checking if anything funny was occurring, but nothing to be done. Just soldiers bombing in, and big bomb onto Eon. Oh, just about strafes away from the air shot attempt. Very, very close. Onto Eon. Doesn't quite land the final rocket, and Eon lives to fight another day, and the 3 stacking plays of TLR do not. They're back into the respawn queue. Is 3 picks enough to maybe tempt them out?
They went out for a second, but I think one player from TLR coughed at them, and they were like, boys, it's too much, get out, get back to last, we're going for the round reset.
A really good move, I want to say, from Eon. They're strafing out of the way of that air shot. Must have been terrified as the rocket.
There was even a sticky fishing for him as well at the usual sort of spawn door, so went against his own sort of medical needs and didn't go for the resupply.
Very, very nice work. And yeah, back 3 minutes, 2 more. Where they're going to try it, and they go to this double stack again. They went for it last time, back in, and they get the force this time. Ryan maybe sent skyward, and hits the nice little body shot.
This is where the nerves kick in a little bit now, because obviously you're on Golden Cap, you don't want to drop Uber at these sort of situations. I'm not blaming Eon so much, it's TLR just kind of realising these double soldier times and these lines can be abused against the sentry gun. They just need to find it a bit better and pulled off than they did earlier in the match.
Yeah, Am's looking to let lightning strike twice as well, peeking deep into lobby, trying to get that shot onto June, but gets spammed out. And yeah, there's going to be one attempt, a full Ubercharge push. We've seen one of these fail already on TLR's side, but this is attempt number 2. See what they've learned from last time. Straight in, through the shutter, onto gun eventually. Across the point now towards the truck, forcing a rotation through the side of Spawn, but Warp is able to bomb in and create a lot of space, deny a lot of players, and 2 players down. But in the blue side though, Ams on the heavy, last alive on the point. There's an Ubercharge maybe coming up soon, but Mac comes in.
Oh my god, that man must have got a 25 kill streak because he just activated the nuke.
That's huge from Mac. I thought it was over. I thought
it was over as well. I took my hands off the keyboard, so did TLR.
Oh my, getting a 4K to pull them out of the gutter at the end of that fight. Huge clutch from Mac. 3K with the det and then getting that loose cannon kill to sweep things up. Very nice work, and that's going to give Eon this full Ubercharge advantage.
This is risky.
Kitchen to deal with though. Am's taken down and Eon forced out, so yeah, Ubercharge used out. Nice little play there, sitting 2 people in Kitchen. Ryan's still going until...
Oh my god, he's still going. They can't catch him. The man is just getting out. He reconnects with his team. Oh, it would have been so based if they actually kept chasing and he met all of TLR then. I can't believe it, but Ryan and I think it was either Flick or Pandemic or someone there that were... No, I think, yeah, there's somebody, another scout hiding in Kitchen, forced them out Uber and dragged them all the way back. Massive play.
But what's huge though is the fact that gets them second for free, which means now they've got another crack at this Ubercharge advantage. They're getting progressively better. First one, the second one was so close. If it wasn't for that clutch by Mac, and this is the 3rd attempt, pushing all the way across towards the truck. Posing a bit of a spam war. They're going to maybe start pushing, but big bomb across, big focus fire onto the heavy, but everyone gets nuked on this TLR side, and yeah, the coordinated push just ends in explosions as TLR aren't able to recommit onto that right-hand spawn door, and yeah, back to a familiar situation of Eon full Ubercharge advantage pushing out, but there's no rats this time as everyone died.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to make adjustments and have a do-over at your defenses than it is your attacks, because everything just feels so kind of different when attacking. You're just going in spur of the moments and things that are kind of given to you, and this time they weren't giving these easy scout kills at door and the soldiers dying straight off and defending point. They do lose Mac though in this sort of little conversion into the lobby area. They go in with the Uber and they come out weaker.
Yeah, that's a really rough Ubercharge use coming in there. They use Uber into lobby, think, right, we're gonna catch everyone, we're gonna kill everything, and instead they're the ones that lose 3 and are now facing a sizable disadvantage. Warp sneaking Eon all the way back out onto second, gonna give up mid for free and potentially gonna get forced to give up second for free as well. They are gonna get forward spawns, and they've got a sniper of Leth hiding in the spawn. Could be a nasty surprise for June when grass gets peaked.
They're aware that there's someone in there, and Bloke having a possible check, but they've seen the door open a couple of times now, so he has to switch back at this point. No harm, no foul. Sentry gun being built again. It's Groundhog Day over on Snake Water.
Yeah, and this time the advantage just about isn't enough to push in with full ad. Eon nearly at Ubercharge, but not near enough.
Okay. Never have I ever seen a team with Uber advantage not use the Uber advantage, feed 3 players, and then just like, let's take the fight back from there.
These 2 players refuse to elaborate, leaves.
I think they went to the options menu and just clicked the hard option on this game of Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's back onto mid. We've got 4 more minutes left of this golden cap. And that's not before a round reset, that's before we go to a golden mid fight. So
I don't think Havoc would want that as well, because the mids seem a bit kind of better since TLR have kind of done a gear change on the defense for mids.
Yeah, they're weird, right? The golden mid fights, like the mids themselves, because you're playing to win the point. You're not necessarily playing to be in a better situation after the mid fight.
Oh,
so
nice sort of set of rockets from Bloke and Warped. So it does yield a pandemic pick. I mean, 1 scout, is that really a big enough thing to push? I think not, says Havoc.
Yeah, I'd be If I was Pandemic, I'd be tempted to come up on Sniper, just have a
I
crack.
like it. I like it.
Again, like you say,
He
there's
hates
no
it though.
respawn
He
checking.
hates it.
There's no respawn checking, right? With when you're on
Yeah.
second, so it's possible we can maybe get a free shot through window, maybe start peeking lower or so. But no, deciding to keep it standard.
They're just having a good little check of all the doors and all the stickies and all the spots right now. He has got one. Mac has got something cooking on the lights, and those lights have been awfully awful to TLR.
Yeah, Mathis doesn't seem to have noticed the trap either, so it
Oh
could be
no, the
dangerous.
trap's
Oh,
actually
no!
killed
The
him!
trap!
I can't believe it!
Oh, Pastor's blessing strikes again.
My
You mentioned it again.
days, my days. I mean, they checked the initial sort of like lobby area and they were like, that's it, Mac isn't going to put a trap anywhere else. None that were, and surely it's got to be a bit suspicious where you're looking at the dude and he's not shooting any stickies, he's not detonating anything.
Worst be TLR had a soldier that was looking at it from lower for so long as well. But no, June takes the damage, has to fall back straight into the debt, and now Havoc, they've not had many chances to push last yet, and now they're going to have the golden opportunity with 2 minutes left.
What could go wrong?
Full ad.
It's just one big crash for every team involved. Let's see how they can beef it. They take out the level 1 sentry gun. There's a lot of cap time on point. Matez is a bit late to the party, and now this point is very precarious to fight on. Everybody's taking turns to fight on it, though. Somebody stepped off it! Oh no! It seems like June really wanted to keep themselves off the point. It was pressured a little bit by stickies, and it was probably in a scary zone, but yeah, that was the TLR, so just a little late, and it will actually go Havoc's way. And I wanted you to know, Ben, I'm a genius. I knew we would go to a draw, and I knew Havoc would win.
You did call Golden Cap Havoc win at the start, didn't you? That's you see the future, just like with these sticky traps. But that's got to be so heartbreaking though for TLR. I know I've mentioned this multiple times, like having all the pressure, having all those attempts, but yeah, it's just that one debt from Mac, able to convert it. The one chance that Havoc get of that full ad last push after so many attempts of sitting on last and pushing and sending sacks and stuff from TLR, Havoc just take it first time of asking. Yeah, sweep it up, sweep through those 2 points for Snakewater.
Yeah, the intensity of the gameplay was low, but on their minds it might be quite intense. It puts a lot of pressure on just even the smallest little actions, and it might be the one to morale snap some of these players in. I mean, if you have it, you're feeling pretty happy, but you've got some lifelines over on the side of TLR. That wasn't your map pick, so you know that was kind of signed off. Maybe you're happy that it even went to a golden cap. That's one still fat ETF to well point you've got over them in this sort of matchup so far, if you win your map.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not the end of the world at all. And like you say, it's not their map pick. They've got Sunshine coming up, the pick of TLR. See what they've got cooking.
I can't believe it, but we can actually look at the logs. We've got the combined logs. Ooh. Production, Samus. As why am I saying on these? It's very, very blue centric because they were the ones that were defending most of the time. The rest of TLR just had to keep hitting their head against the wall. So of course it's going to be very red stained in these logs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we see the two scouts on Havoc's side, Amps and Sneaky, getting 29 and 31 kills. Yeah, lots of engineering sniper gameplay though, and only 5 deaths on Eon though is.
Yeah, I think that was a bit more damning. I feel like all of the TLR problems were just coming down to traps, jumps, and random chicanery from like snipers and all that. Kind of hurt the soul a little bit. Eon also had his moments where ended up with a few drops. Life is cruel in the game of Team Fortress 2, but they've won. They've managed to win their map out. They now need to kind of keep it to the golden cap, I think, over on this Sunshine minimum for Havoc if they want to repeat the sort of score line, but I don't think that's going to happen here, Ben.
Yeah, perhaps. I know it's another map where I guess it's not quite as maybe hard to beat the stalemates as on Snake, but it's still kind of tough, especially into last. But with it being TLR's pick, I'm sort of assuming they're gonna maybe a bit more comfortable with their ways in. So if they get to last, I feel like they might have a bit of a higher conversion rate. For Havoc, yeah, it's new form team. It's hard to say exactly what they're gonna bring over on Sunshine. But yeah, no, I still think there's a world where they trade maps here. I know that was my pick at the start, but I'd be thinking it's probably possible again. But yeah, like I say, the Golden Cap could just happen again. I'm not going to predict Golden Cap, but I still think TLR might just about come out on top.
I know there hasn't really been much content to base all these opinions on, Ben, but is there anybody that's looking like on fire tonight at all, or does everybody look on fire when they're stood completely still?
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Because obviously, if you're just going to sit at the log and say, "Oh my god, wow, Sneaky and Amphis got 30 kills each," like you can, and yeah,
whoa, Sneaky's got an engineer kill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got loads of kills on the guns, but
I'll just call up Witness. Witness, have you seen this?
Yeah, no, it's hard to say. I know Mac obviously had that clutch play in Golden Cap, and also had a couple of drops as well. But the 4K on last, he stepped up when the rest of the team needed it most. Mac was there, and he saved that team multiple rounds over the course of the game.
That was a Demoman stood by his Demoman principles. He's like, I trap point and they come. They will come and they will fail. And a lot of Demomen, and probably when everything the chips are down, they start just firing off his stickies, doing some combat damage. But he held, and it paid off wonderfully. And I think he'll do that now for the rest of the season because of that one clip.
Absolutely, we've got to extrapolate from whatever limited days.
Yeah, but he's had quite a trappy game. I think this man might. I wonder if he's found his calling card. Like, guys, why am I fighting them? I should just be like, I should be called Sneaky, and I should just be holding traps everywhere.
Yeah, because there was the 2 drops as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, a good performance. I feel like the 2 soldiers over on TLR's side got more into the game as it went on, but yeah, obviously had a bit of a hard time early on in regulation trying to get their sacks in, but as it went on, they were sort of picking up the tempo, coordinating reasonably well, and had some good efforts at getting sacks off. But perhaps we can see more of that.
Yeah, the mid adjusting from Mattez, from Ryan, was the reason I would say their mid started doing well. They read what was going wrong, at least in their gameplay, for their team, and what they needed them out of that mid, and they adjusted, and it went much better. I mean, whether or not that came down from a decision from the soldiers, or if it was done as a collective, it was a powerful tool for TLR to figure out. So credit to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we're coming on to Sunshine, which is a very different map in terms of at least how the mid fights play. I think it's
big.
Potentially,
big mid. Enough where people would rather shoot lasers from their eyes than shoot bullets from their gun. So you'll see a lot of kind of teams kind of rotating around, playing a bit defensive, fishing for those sort of that damage instead. I think passive usually wins on a map of Sunshine, but maybe I'm caught in my old ways. Maybe the meta has changed a little bit, and I don't know, now that we're actually all the way into the official, maybe things are loosening up a bit. A little less respect for teams.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of weak one nerves in that first map, but back to map number 2, the pick of TLR. We're into Sunshine.
Oh my god!
No slow mid at all, no slow rotations at all from Havoc as they send everyone straight in, both soldiers straight into Eon, get the kill. Warped left going down also. Going to leave it into a 3-on-3 scout demo for either side. As Pandemic's a little bit low, fighting these double scout fight, 2 scouts MGE over towards the little Tetris, and looks like the blue scout's going to be coming out on top, and Mac going down as well means that the DM fight at the end of that mid fight is going to go the way of TLR, but like you say, it was the complete opposite this time, straight in, full aggression.
Yeah,
fight taken.
I was kind of shocked. I think the rest of Havoc were shocked as well, as they kind of like did a kind of delta split, a scatter amongst all the people, and everyone was kind of attacking different destinations, and I think they weren't in the sort of great place to help each other in the low fights.
Yeah, well, both medics got caught eventually, so against throwing on both teams, just going to get the Uber charges built up. Just hold that ground for now. You can see what these blues will be said. Mattson and Ryan are working into the game quite slowly last time. By them, we're coordinating the attack pretty well. See what they're going to go for here. Both of them taking pretty big buffs. They're going to go for the play.
Well, Mattez wants to go from choke, and Ryan wants to go from flowers, and nothing. Absolutely nothing, because they're so far back on Havoc that they don't find that person that's poking on choke or poking on flowers.
Yeah, nice attempt though. Nice little synchronized attempt, but yeah, just so passive over on the Havoc side. But both soldiers get out for TLR. They've kept them both up, so they can have another go, risk free. But instead, it looks like there's going to be pressure from Cafe on the menu as Ryan holds his way in, distractions through. Oh, goes for the airshot, doesn't quite land it. Eon able to dodge away from that rocket again. Matt is going to be jumping in onto Mac. Going to not quite get anything.
Uh-oh. That's a third
It's
player
crumbling.
down. Two is like you kind of give some wiggle room a little bit, but 3 going down, that's a sign to go, and they are walking in, and obviously Zams is not set up for this situation at all, so no traps, no choke point covered. It is going to be a given up mid for 3.
Yeah, absolutely. They were just about out in time as well. Warped had jumped all the way around towards exit of Cafe, but we're just about out in time to not have to meet their end to those rockets. So now flip-flopped back across, losing a few players, but no Uber charges exchanged, so it's Havoc now the ones pressing, see what they decide to go for. Stance. Ooh, he's in.
Yep. Bloke, he's jumped in and he was like, where is June? June was behind the lighthouse, not in the lighthouse, so no medic pick for that lad. But again, I don't think they're going to do it because I think it just seems to be like a philosophy of teams. They would have done it by now from these other teams, so it will be cookie cutter, I think, for a majority. They're doing some trading, trying to see if they can weasel into each other's points, but nothing will flower.
Yeah, good attempt there, but jumping in. I guess it's worth for Ryan there. Going in 1-for-1 means there's not going to be an immediate opportunity for a counter-attack from Havoc. Hams is back in the respawn.
Warped. He's got some tech, some jumping tech, but he hasn't got the bombing tech, I'm afraid. No damage onto Juni. Well, effectively.
Nothing meaningful.
Yeah. They're pushing from Cafe, though, and they've Ubered straight in.
June's so weak.
Yeah, took a lot of damage at the start of this. It does bring Mac down somewhat low, and they will exchange his fat. But he has to defuse the second, the choke point, and this brings things a bit scatters a little bit for TLR. But I think they're playing their damage in their skirmishes just that little bit better, and man, they're spending more time. In the... Oh, I know. So with the medic going down, they can definitely keep snowballing this. They have to keep going. They have to worry a little bit about traps and like little stickies and spams and all that. But I think they have enough eyeballs on the set of TLR to realise what it's like on second, and it's free.
Yeah, they just got caught a little bit treading on each other's toes, leaving through choke. And yeah, one straight pipe from Zams. He's able to land that kill onto Eon, going to secure a 50% advantage. So see, with spawns coming up, maybe they're just going to try and build this. They're going to be trying to find out what the setup is, use this last 20 seconds or so, or less now. Try and find out what the setup is and make use of this Uber advantage.
I'm not sure if I'm throwing out way too much criticism or anything. Oh, okay, we're going straight into an Uber. What's happening there?
Oh, they're straight in. Sentry taken down. Fair bit of cap time from the scout as well. But yeah, they've got to be the timer on this. There's a heavy up, lots of damage, lots of low health bars over on the Havoc side, but lots of non-existent health bars over on the TLR side as Matt's last one alive, running out, trying to escape, and it's another pretty disastrous full ad push from TLR. Yeah, like you say, it was a bit ad hoc sort of sprinting in and not much plan, not many frags being found.
Yeah, they looked like they were playing the point, and it looked like quite a successful tempo. I think they wanted to kind of have their cake and eat it too by not committing the scout onto that point the entire time and having him die. So because of that, they felt empowered to just kind of keep that point from an arm's distance defending. And it didn't help as well that the flank jumped into a full buffed heavy.
Yeah, that also doesn't help, I guess. Zam's getting 2 kills on the trap.
Well.
Yeah, that could turn things a little bit. Could cancel the push with your pocket scout and your demo.
Matt going down, that's a big pick. You should definitely push off this if you're TLR. And oh my god, are they pushing?
Yeah, sending those soldiers in. Ryan
pushing
and
too hard.
Yeah, up on the height very early, but maybe a little bit too early before the rest of the team is ready to meet. June still doesn't have Uber, so there's no quick trigger pull to really come. That's another 5 seconds away, but Spamwar still laying out. Mac only just turning up. Do the
They-
choke after the respawn.
They can still keep fighting this, I think. They do have the respawn thing, and they're actually taking this timeline now. Oh, AMS, actually, they use the Uber in. I'm not sure they had to do that, however, but they will just milk that completely on TLR, and this is going to be a real hard... Oh, nice as a saving jump on Bloke, but June doesn't pop, and oh my god, there was ample timings where it could have gone down that way.
Yeah, great work by June there to hold on to that Uber charge and look all the way in, but not able to land that killing shot. Now there's going to be a, as you say, big advantage for June. Not too much to worry about in the way the second points. They're going to have a pretty much a reset of the previous situation of an ad push into last, where there's been some time set up with regards to gun off classes, but they're actually pushing in and getting the gun straight away, pushing in from lower this time all the way around. This looks a lot better. They're pushing around
Much better.
all the way onto the height, taking down the medic, taking down the demo, taking down the soldier, just the heavy scout and soldier left to fight. And Ryan gets launched into the heavy. Just a couple of stragglers to sweep up, and TLR are going to take that first round after 8 minutes and after a fair few attempts at full out pushes.
You're seeing the difference in it, what experience does for a medic now. This is kind of almost like a nice match to highlight kind of the power of greed and playing your medic classes and all this stuff. I'm seeing like early pops. I'm not sure if it's really Eon doing that, if it's more like AMS just calling it. But if we could have these situations kind of milked out a bit more, and you're seeing the differences between both of the squads and their medics.
Yeah, absolutely. That solo Uber into choke got less than nothing previously and maybe caused a bit of a turnaround, but this time it's going to be Havoc sending in everyone onto June. June is not going to live to fight another day, but Sneaky is the only one left over on the red side, all the way behind.
The scout might actually pull it off, you know. I know you're seeing like 2 versus 1. This is over 3
Splash
versus
classes,
1.
isn't it? Yeah, I see.
But Sneaky does manage to get his way in. He's got high ground against the soldiers, check. So, but they just keep going higher and higher, it seems, over on TLR to keep the scout under.
Yeah, it's going to be a late spawner, but maybe not one that's too impactful. Yeah, we saw a turn of pace there, Havoc doing exactly what TLR did in that first mid-fight, committing all the way across the enemy Tetris, landing straight in onto June, but yeah, weren't able to keep their players alive quite as well. But I guess with Sneaky being alive so long, that means that the TLR side can't start posturing onto second and can't take as much space, so it does buy a lot of time. It means that now the rest of this red squad are able to get themselves set up, get themselves spamming and think about how they want to defend this, and TLR can think about how they want to maybe start sending some pressure.
Yeah, now they have a completely flipped situation. Now they're the ones that have a round to lord over poor Havoc, and do they learn from their sort of mistakes where they kind of played it too defensively almost and just kind of never attempted to make anything happen even though they had opportunity, or do they just do that game plan? And it seems like they want to take opportunities, it seems, over on TLR. They're throwing Ryan in, at least.
Yeah, there one sec. It's a small commitment, but maybe not the biggest risk. See if this pressure through the flank. Actually, Max gone all the way into choke. Going to bait a bomb through. Gets out. Nice surf. Pressure from Valley with Max spamming through choke. Going to try to go for something, but didn't quite work out. So nice attempts. They're using that one-player advantage temporarily. But Havoc aren't able to get anything as we stabilise back out once again.
Yeah, it looks like TLR kind of maybe cooking up some different plan right now. Everyone's just kind of waiting, healing up a bit for both of the soldiers. So I guess on the cards is a double soldier bomb. One going from flowers, one going from choke. It worked well last time, so let's see if it pulls off again. Did it win? No, wait, no, they lost 3 players, didn't they? And they actually went the other way. But I think the chips just spelled in their direction.
Yeah, Ryan's faked the bomb, jumped all the way around, trying to just gone for a bit of an excursion. Ryan 50 HP.
Pandemic actually got out where Flick died last time, so I don't know, it seems like maybe they want to get a scout in while everyone's distracted with that one soldier, perhaps? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good idea in principle, but I guess it's so passive. They're so turtled up around this medic of Eon, it's going to be so hard. There's 2 scouts there. One scout can look at the soldier and one can look for any other potential feeders.
So Ryan jumps in, but he's going to immediately feed, and the traps are just keeping. That's all it takes as well. Traps are not only sort of a way to get a cheeky kill on someone, it's a way to delay a push, because you're not going to push your medic past that trap. You have to like disarm it and shoot it. So I think in that sort of timing that Ryan went down, they obviously couldn't do anything because that time took too much. It took too much time to take out the trap, I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. That meant that they were also caught in Cafe for quite a while, and they were in danger there. Leth went for a bomb through choke, landed one rocket onto June, but wasn't alive long enough to land the second. But yeah, it can be dangerous when you're getting caught in a claustrophobic area like that. In Cafe, it's where you lose plays, it's where you take damage. But yeah, again, it's one round up for TLR. They're not the ones who necessarily are unhappy with the current status quo. Being a round
double
up.
scout chariot. We're just going to bully one poor soldier into the world, and I guess you can call that a force just by presence alone. They counter with their own Uber now, but they think ahead from actually committing further, because the rest of TLR, they're in on the flank. Flink is behind, and he will get cleaned up, but that's a lot of turned heads, and they've got the high ground now over on TLR, cleaning up these kills. It's a nice game plan from TLR, just kind of going in, forcing the Ubers out of the exchange, getting obviously a 3-soldier kill in that sort of exchange as well, and the flank did wonders for just, I guess, getting in for 3 and kind of pincering them.
Yeah, it was great work as well. The bomb and the scout running in, good coordination, coming in, killing everyone sat in front of that dungeon area. Going to give themselves a big Uber advantage. So, in varying successes again, it's going to be one they're going to have to build up. So there's going to be potentially time to get a gun set up. He's getting spammed a little bit by pistol, but nothing too serious. We see Uber coming in now, straight through. And this top right, this will be the previous unsuccessful attempt. See if they're going to have better fortunes this time. They got the gun quick, taking all the way around to the left side, forcing a rotation in the spawn. Am's taking a lot of damage on this heavy, who's getting focus fired pretty hard. Soldiers bombing in onto the point, just 3 alive now on the defending side. Am's getting tanked with arrows and heals, but it's not enough. Has to step away from the point, and TLR drag the rotations around for long enough. They did pick off all the players. Good focus and good round win.
Yeah, it's just a small last point, so it's easy to kind of get to from point A to point B. A little credit, I saw a bloke almost going down there. Nice little sort of switch out, but it wasn't enough, sadly. I think they just don't do a good job of putting enough ground between them and the enemy team, I think.
I want to see, is anyone going to go for a quick trigger on this this next mid-fight? It looks like both teams going to some extent as the red side bomb a lot of players in, get onto June. Yeah, Eon and Ams all the way back out again. It seems like a repeat of that Snakewater round where they bomb in, just want to get that Uber advantage. But actually, there's there's blue players all the way in onto second. They're wanting to maybe catch out Bloke. Not going to manage it.
I appreciate it. I like the sort of decision to hunt down for the medic there. That, at the end of the day, that medic pick wins the war rather than the battle. And nothing wrong with a little greed at that point. Ryan potentially walking it into Eon, but doesn't know what he's got. Zams has set up a trap whilst everybody else was kind of chilling in their base, and it manages to kind of make things annoying now, because now they have to think, do you want to make this push still with an Uber charging one player down?
Well, they do, and they're charging in through Valley. There's a back cap to contest with, though. Yeah, as you say, Soldier Scout on this second point with 3 times. Warps is going to be low, taken down, flicks all the way into lobby, and they've all had to go back, and it's nullified. It looks scary for those players on mid and TLR's side, but the back cap coming through is going to relieve the pressure on mid. Going to let them get their spawners in. Flick still just ratting it out in behind, in lobby, just dancing around. Maybe going to try and get out dungeon, maybe going to run back, just constantly breaking the ankles of the defending players, but going to go down late. Actually, a bit of an annoying late spawner for them.
A very nice sort of play coming out from TLR, because not only did they backcapped with a soldier and a scout. The nature of the second point is it's very protected. It's one of the most protected points in the game. So whilst the scout might feel safe in there, it's very easy to kind of once, get him stuck in that area and just throw some stickies into the area. But if you've got a soldier kind of blocking the way, kind of on like protection duty, he's like the bodyguard to the club, and only one scout is invited.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly how it works out with the soldier trade going down, and rid of the soldier trade going down as Finnegan walked. Get up and pick a piece.
Nobody looks like wants to hold close to the Crafe. They're just kind of keeping the flank in control. No exchange of Ubers either. Thought they might have been tempted, but I think not everybody's up for everyone in this map right now. They're kind of constantly playing at 5v5s, it seems.
Yeah, a bit more faster paced than what we're used to seeing in the Snake Water map. And yeah, soldiers sort of faking bombs out towards Valley is actually going to put the fear into the sides of Havoc. They were thinking of a push through Valley, going to have to retreat out and take the trade in through Choke. Ham's taken very, very weak and sneaky going down, but Uber's flashed out on both sides. Scout one aside has been taken out, and just more time off the clock, I guess. PLR.
Yeah, that could have gone bad for both teams, but everyone kind of had a safer bet going in the end there. People dying, and some people just decided not to push in any further. So, fortunate, I would say, for Havoc. They have time. I think they have the gusto to make a comeback in this game. And I think losing at that point would be very much the tide turner of a full TLR win.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. There's a big gap between 2 rounds and 3 rounds when there's 12 minutes on the clock. Yeah, see what TLR decide to do. We've seen sort of these kind of fake bomb attempts coming through from Choke. I think you can't fake too often because they'll people will start finding the fake. But Ryan's all the way in, very, very deep, big direct onto Eon, but not going to get the kill. Eon's going to have to run back all the way for the pack. Really good attempt at a single soldier there going in. And not quite able to land enough damage as a massive bomb comes through, warped all the way above the point. Not going to get anything.
Yeah, I don't mind somebody trying to make something happen when a player goes down like that. I give credit to TLR, kind of mix up their strategies for a second. It must have been very tempting to just do what they did last time and see if it works again. But you have to assume that your team is going to make adjustments or they're going to learn from the mistakes. So they go for just a straight bomb this time. They now do a fake bomb and try and throw Ryan in. He tries to see if he can get out and cheekily avoid that sort of the clumsy death by just shooting a rocket. It doesn't work out.
Yeah, good attempt, but this means now off this one pick, pressure is coming through from the Havoc side. A couple of players from Cafe, a couple of players from Valley, and Mac in between with the sticky bombs. Able to use a lot of ground across, actually left wing, getting a couple of good kills there. Flipping Pandemic taken down. Oh, Eon taking a bit of flak as well, but
yeah, June has to use the Uber
has
there.
to force.
So with the Uber charged down, this is what they're looking for. This is what they were completely banking on happening. Credit to the soldiers as well, from like kind of wheezing out of Cafe and taking, you know, good sort of successful little skirmish into that area. I think Mac even got a pick and a punish onto Flick as well, over on the flank. Not a usual composition you see. Usually the demo man is just glued to the medic, but they actually split off and it worked out for them.
It worked to absolute perfection. With Ryan having an unsuccessful sack into Valley, this means that there's the tables have turned and it's the first attempt at Havoc. I believe they've had this game at a push into last and they're pushing it very quickly, no time to waste at all. As they're already getting the points. Yeah, loads of cap time. Am's getting a nice flash as well. They're going to get even more cap time. No one's in the point. Great work, yeah, as you say, straight in. Am's just, oh, the medic, I don't want Ubering, I just want to cap the point. Runs straight in, gets the flash at the perfect time when he's about to die and then just able to finish off the cap.
Yeah, I think it helped as well that Eon flashed Ams during that kill moment where I guess you kind of have a feeling when the demo man's going to sticky your scout. He saved him and it allowed him to get back on the point a second time when Sneak even put more cap time on it. A lot of pressure. Very well, nicely shown by Eon.
A very nice quick conversion, and with 10 minutes left there's still plenty of time for Havoc to get back into this game. Mac and Eon going down at the start of this mid-fight is not the start they were exactly hoping for. 3 alive, 2 scouts or soldiers. There's still danger towards the combo. The TLR potentially as bomb comes in. Not going to get too much, and everyone dies, and June survives, Am survives, and it's a big success over on TLR.
The only way I can describe how these wins are happening on mid for TLR is everyone on TLR is fighting in an area they feel comfortable fighting in. As like the scouts are in a bit where they feel like they can finesse these soldiers. The soldiers are in an area that they feel like they can lay out a lot of easy rockets, and it can hurt playing this mid fight in certain areas as a soldier. And I think the TLR soldiers just put prioritize those areas. Whilst I think Havoc soldiers, they're just kind of like pushing from Cathay or just doing something that doesn't really have much impact at the start.
Well, we've got an attempt at another big last push coming in. Zam's laying down big damage in front of the spawn door, but Red's still on point, able to deny for a while, but surely this is done. Red last alive, not able to deny. Huge damage coming in just in front of that spawn door, onto the heavy, onto the rest of the combo, and nice conversion. As we say, just one round for Havoc off a quick conversion push, and yeah, not quite as fast on the last push, but sweeping everyone up and extending this lead back to 2 rounds. So Havoc got 7.5 minutes to find these last 2 there to bring this one back, or potentially go all the way and take it in regulation, but they're going to need an improvement on the mid-fight from what happened last time. See what they've got in store for us.
Yeah, it's an end-all kind of... Yeah, they've approached it completely differently on Havoc on these mids, and it shows they're now playing a lot more defensive, a lot more postured, and now they're going for these sort of coordinated bombs. While it doesn't work out, sadly, and these pushovers aren't really backed up by the rest of the team, now they've kind of hurt themselves in the sense that they can't even get Eon out. They're actually in the wrong half of the map.
Yeah,
and this hurts worse than a wipe, by the way, because this medic and demo, they're useless.
Yeah, and also it means that the ad is even more. If, like Max
they
might
might
be
not
alive
even be
for the last hold.
Yeah, they might not even be alive for the last. They could just leave one scout. They should be pushing in now, quick.
Yeah, they're working their way into the lobby, and this could well be a 4th round for TLR as they charge in through the barrel side. Not even having to use Uber yet with no stickies up. There's no threats going to use eventually, but it's so claustrophobic for this defending side. Zam's able to spam a lot towards the doors, and well cleaned up, like you say. It's lost once you've just got Med and Demo caught behind, and there's soldiers jumping around, denying the exits. Nice play from TLR, but I like what you're saying with them. They have it mixing up their mids, and I agree with their ideas. They had to change something, but again, doesn't work out, and get punished again straight off the mid.
Yeah, they clearly their plan for these mids is not that. They aren't scrimming, or it doesn't look like they know what to do or how they want to push across when they make that such a defensive play. Now TLR are all actually bunching together. They've changed the strat up themselves, and they're just trying to blob up a mid instead. Kind of like showing, like, look, this is how you do it. Because they're not throwing somebody in, so they're all just kind of playing the bob slowly and just keeping each area on lockdown and just kind of see if they can find the damage and just take nice little shot from Warped. But yeah, TLR look very strong on this map, so a very nice pick from them, and they look like a very well-rounded team on this. I feel like I've literally just been tooting the TLR horn for like far too long, and I need to balance it out, so please, Havoc, give me summit.
Yeah, well, it actually looks even could have potentially gone worse. Amazon's having a bit of an awkward fight with Flick.
Oh, Bloke! He's in!
Big bombs. That's what they need, right? They need to get that Uber charge out very, very quick. And Bloke gets out alive as well. Counter Uber charge used in from the Valley. Mac all the way in deep, taking out Zams. Maybe going to go for more as well. Very low HP though for when the Scuba fades. But might not matter because Pandemic's gone down as well.
They're doing the back cap again. And look, it's the Scout and the Bodyguard. Oh, actually, no, it's just 2 soldiers. I'm not even counting my soldiers correctly. I guess they were just both capping, but it's still kind of intimidating to have 2 players to deal with that like that.
Ryan's still underneath in in dungeon. Is he going to go and try something mildly funny?
He's back capping again.
Surely no time.
He's brought 2 players back, but will they actually take the fight to mid? I don't think they shall. Well, they're losing people at choke. More. Yeah. That was good. That's very good, actually, from Havoc. They don't bring everybody back this time. I think it helps that it's just, obviously, they realise it's just 2 soldiers there. It's a lot less dangerous than a scout and a soldier. And got good cap time on last point. We've got an unfortunate pause timing.
I guess it's unfortunate, but I guess everyone in the world knows exactly what's going to happen once the pause finishes. Maybe.
Actually,
Unless I've got HUD issues, like it feels like this cap is going to happen in nanoseconds of the pause finishing.
Oh no! I think it kept capping whilst the pause came
Oh,
out.
did
So
it?
I think
Okay.
there's a lot more cap time
Maybe I'm
than
yeah.
you think there is.
Maybe
yeah.
my HUD is deceiving me.
Yes, it is. It is 100%. So calm down, Twitch chat. It's not an instant thing. And to say what play. Flick call for the pause, huh? Okay. Well, let's see here. So they do have them at last. If Flick called for the pause, they could have it where they pull off this round and then another immediate round happens. I'm trying to think what would set Flick into a panic. It could just also be someone has a dead mouse or something, you know?
Yeah, as a DC'd or anything.
But AMS has got like a healthy amount of time. TLR, however, have got things to address it. So it comes down to, I think, this arrogant Sticky stood in the air. I think, yeah, if that could like deflect the scout off, maybe he might cap it off fully. And Matt also kind of has to beef his rockets a little bit.
Yeah, there's also the thing to note. There's 3 blue players sat in the spawn room currently, who've got a bit of a walk, get involved with this fight.
Yeah, I think they're effectively. They might still be in fights again. It just comes down to whether or not they can deal with this Demoman Scout combo on last.
Yeah, and if they can block long enough for June to get the last 3% of Uber.
That is a good point. I think that Uber actually is going to come out. Really, I think it's either the point will get capped now, or they'll get an Uber and it will delay things. They might just go for another 20 seconds or so, and they'll just win the fight from there because everybody else is also coming in. Warped's got a nice flank. I think that'll come in after the Uber. I'm flexing the crystal ball hard tonight. Okay, alright, so AMS goes off the point. There's a little bit of cap time. The Uber does come out, and they're throwing everybody on the point. They're kind of dropping their spaghetti just an ever little bit from Havoc there. You know, when you just have it so close and you just like kind of go against your better half judgment because you just think, oh, well, it's so close anyway. I'm sure if we could just do the wrong decision just for a little bit, maybe we'll pull it off. And no.
And they lose everyone.
I think if they kept their just their sort of composure, I should say, they probably would have had that.
And with Matt going down on the counter push, Ryan all the way in deep, forcing AMS into Cafe to fight. There's a back cap, so it's going to deny people back again, but still, that's
really good. Sneaky keeps going behind as well, so it's going to be kind of annoying. And they're all very scattered, holding in not the greatest places. Sneaky comes out. 1, 2, 3, takes out a Soul Leech. 4th on the board. These scouts have literally dug it from the grave. Oh my god, that must be an excellent frag. Beta is probably on the phone right now. Get me that demo.
Absolutely, it's just 3. The mouse just held down at maximum fire rate as well. Just 3 huge kills.
What in the anime was that? What? He just possessed. He will not lose today. 2 minutes left. I mean, I don't think it actually is possible, but it looks good to kind of, stir the soul of TLR a bit. I bet they have to pause and just calm down, get the hearts back into their chests.
Yeah, exactly. And it came up a situation where when Mac had just gone down, they'd just wiped everyone, and we're getting forced back potentially into their own second. But this bomb hasn't quite worked out. They're sending more in.
Yeah, they wanted a really solid, quick round, and I guess the best way to make quick rounds happen is just obviously quick action, and that calls for aggressive. So they throw a soldier in really deep, but everyone's going to be super buffed up. So it's hard to kind of make any kill happen unless you get onto June, which it does not work out like that.
It's a risk you have to take, though, right? When you're needing 2 rounds in 2 and a bit minutes.
It's the spirit of these choices from all the teams. I agree with. Yes, change it up on mid. Yes, go aggressive on these things. It's just I would not tilt it so hard. That's all. I would just kind of keep the spirit of the decision. Just scale the decision back ever so slightly on ambition. Nice sort of trap and sneaky sentry gun. You don't see that every day. say, especially as they had an Uber charge as well.
Yeah, exactly. They could have used it straight through with big ad as well, but they're getting forced out at the back of their own platform just towards Cafe. Ams is still all the way behind, fighting a flicking choke. Ryan's going to come in and interrupt the MGE session. Take that fight.
There's 30 seconds left on the clock.
This is
game's over.
this is over. This is only going to finish either 5-2 or 4-2 at this point, and TLR are going to look to make it 5-2 as they start charging their way in. Bombs towards the spawn door. Hills coming through for the most part. With the Demoman down, there's a Pyro up. Eon's up on Pyro. The Medic is a fragging class, but
man, if only corpses could cap the point, the soldiers just
on the fire soldier, yeah.
I've got this boy. Oh, Zams will get a kill onto, and yeah, he probably might cap this out. Yeah, actually, timer kicks in before that.
Out.
Yeah. Oh.
So if you're in pain train, you see, that's a
no.
Not gonna matter regardless.
Samurai sword, man. All right, 4-2. Yay.
Yeah, what a change of pace from that first map.
All right, I'm screaming over to the logs. I'm clicking buttons. I've actually got a log to look at. There was no stalemates really, too much here, and yeah, the stats are actually looking in a sort of format I wanted to highlight. So I know I was saying, oh man, Havoc, give me something here to celebrate, and I actually do have the praise of bloke to sing. I feel like he had a lot of individual moments that probably went kind of shy on camera, just because they were just. Maybe it's the soldier bias in my heart, but little kind of clutch things he did to keep his game alive. And he actually showed a bit of healthy damage, it seems, compared to the rest of his team. But yeah, those mid-fights, they hurt. Those last points hurt even worse. Not a good map. The second was like the only sort of crown jewel, and even then it was like a low-tier jewel, like an Opaz or something on second.
Yeah, and I guess it shows like we were like discussing before the game about how much of an impact we thought it'd have. Like obviously teams pick one map and the other team picks another map, but I think TLR is an almost entirely different team in this second map. Like you're saying, they cleaned at the mid fights and looked a lot more confident. Yeah, there was moments for Havoc, but like if you just look at the logs, like Zams has had a field day out in out in this second map. And yeah, it's like a pretty good performance.
Yeah, if I was any team in the ETF2L right now and I saw this Sunshine performance, I would definitely keep it away from TLR. It looks very strong, well-rounded. They have some plays in the playbook. It's varied. They can obviously have... I don't know, maybe I'm putting too much credence on just literally one of the other team's performance as well. But it looked varied. It wasn't just literally like just doing the same thing over and over again. And they were just winning because of it. Whilst... Havoc, they looked a little, just a little one though too, where they got that one round and they just lorded it over them. It's like, well, last, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a very sort of different style of game with Havoc. Yeah, they got that one round, but yeah, they never rest for the rest of the game. They just sort of converted that one round in golden cap. But
the frag from Sneaky and Ams, that little sort of scout performance there, everyone there. Maybe TLR kind of phoning it a little bit potentially, but that doesn't come up on YouTube.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. I guess it's kind of different. They're a bit more of a stalemate game. But yeah, we did have that. We had that highlight play on the second map from Sneaky though as well. That's as you say, Beta's going to be essentially jotting that one down.
All right, Ben. Any more closing words before we go back to our lives this evening?
Yeah, it's just been another close game, and it seems to be the way this season's going, right? Just especially with like Witness not in, there's a lot of teams sort of thinking, great, there's potentially the title up for grabs, and there's a lot of motivation to sort of strive towards it. Another close, well-fought game coming out, and there's obviously six more weeks left for these teams to prove themselves, and got an exciting season on its hands.
All right, if you're just joining us, sadly, you've just missed our Week 1/Week 2 game of TLR versus Havoc. But don't worry, you can always tune into the Twitch VOD. We will also have that uploaded to YouTube at some point as well. Big congratulations to TLR in a way, because they do take 4 points away after this whole ETF2L shindig, but Havoc will at least take away 2 ETF2L points in their sort of ETF2L journey. I've been TurboTabs. With me has been Ben as well, and also the wonderful, wonderful, amazing Samus on the production. No biases, just production bias. All right. So otherwise, a big shout out to you guys at home for watching. If you want to tune into any more Team Fortress 2 action, just head on over to teamfortress.tv. It's that simple. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye. Ta-ta.